Welcome to your 5-second IELTS vocabulary quiz. You'll get 10 multiple-choice questions. For each one, you have just 5 seconds to think before the answer and explanation appear. Ready to boost your vocabulary? Let's go! What does the word justify mean? A. To argue against something. B. To prove something is right or reasonable. C. To ignore or avoid a topic. D. To create something new. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is B. To prove something is right or reasonable. To justify something means to explain why it is correct, fair, or necessary. It's often used when giving reasons to support an action, decision, or opinion. Here's an example. He tried to justify his decision to quit the job. This means he explained why he thought quitting was the right thing to do. This word is especially useful in IELTS writing task 2, when you need to give strong reasons to support your point of view. Here are some useful phrases you can use with the word justify. To justify this opinion, we can consider the following reasons. It is difficult to justify the cost of such an expensive program. The government must justify its decision to increase taxes. Students are expected to justify their answers with evidence. There is no way to justify this kind of behavior. In IELTS writing or speaking, using the word justify correctly shows that you can explain and support your ideas clearly. Let's continue with number 2. What does the word significant mean? A. Unimportant. B. Expensive. C. Large or important enough to be noticed. D. Dangerous. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is C. Large or important enough to be noticed. The word significant means something that has meaning, value, or a noticeable impact. It's often used to describe changes, results, or events that are important. Here's an example. There was a significant improvement in her speaking score. This means the improvement was large enough to be important or clearly seen. In IELTS, this word is useful when describing trends, data, or strong opinions in both writing and speaking. Here are some useful phrases you can use with significant. There was a significant increase in unemployment last year. This study shows a significant difference between the two groups. Education has a significant effect on people's quality of life. The results are not statistically significant. Climate change is a significant global issue. Using words like significant in your IELTS answers shows a strong academic vocabulary and helps express clear, serious ideas. Let's continue with number 3. What does the word assess mean? A. To skip something. B. To evaluate or judge something. C. To argue against something. D. To pay for something. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is B. To evaluate or judge something. The word assess means to carefully look at something and make a judgment about its value, quality, or condition. It's often used in academic and professional settings. Here's an example. The teacher will assess your writing. This means the teacher will examine your writing and decide how good it is. In IELTS, you can use the word assess when talking about testing, performance, or analyzing situations. Here are some useful phrases you can use with assess. The examiner will assess your grammar, vocabulary, and fluency. It's important to assess the risks before making a decision. We need to assess how effective the new policy has been. The company assessed the project before moving forward. This tool helps assess student progress over time. Using the word assess shows that you understand how to talk about evaluations which is important for both IELTS writing and speaking tasks. Let's continue with number 4. What does the word decline mean as a verb? A. To accept. B. To go down or decrease. C. To jump. D. To remain the same. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is B. To go down or decrease. Decline as a verb means to become smaller, fewer, or less. It's often used to describe trends, numbers, or levels that are going down over time. Here's an example. The number of students attending evening classes has declined. This means fewer students are going to those classes now. In IELTS Writing Task 1, you'll often need to describe changes in data. Decline is a useful word to describe a downward trend. Here are some useful phrases with decline. The birth rate has declined in recent years. There was a sharp decline in sales during the winter. The population is expected to decline by 2030. Interest in the product began to decline. Attendance declined steadily over the semester. Using decline helps you describe changes accurately and shows strong vocabulary for IELTS charts, graphs, and discussions. Let's continue with number 5. What does the word accurate mean? A. Correct and exact. B. Expensive. C. Not correct. D. Unclear. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is A. Correct and exact. Accurate means that something is completely correct or without mistakes. It's often used to describe data, measurements, facts, or answers that are precise. Here's an example. His answers in the test were accurate. This means his answers were completely correct. In the IELTS exam, especially in writing and speaking, being accurate with your grammar, vocabulary, and facts is very important. Here are some useful phrases with accurate. The report provides accurate information. It's important to be accurate when describing data. Her description of the process was accurate and detailed. The results were accurate within a small margin of error. That's not an accurate translation of the word. Using accurate shows that you can describe things clearly and exactly, a great skill to show in your IELTS responses. We're halfway through the quiz. How's it going so far? How many answers have you gotten right? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to see your score. Are you ready to keep going and challenge yourself more? Let's continue with number 6. What does the word emphasize mean? A. To forget something. B. To repeat a mistake. C. To give special importance to something. D. To write it down. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is C. To give special importance to something. Emphasize means to highlight or stress something so that people notice it or understand that it is important. Here's an example. The teacher emphasized the importance of practicing every day. This means the teacher said it clearly and strongly to show it matters. In IELTS speaking and writing, you can use emphasize to support your opinion or to draw attention to a key point. Here are some useful phrases with emphasize. I want to emphasize the need for better public transport. The study emphasizes the link between sleep and memory. The speaker emphasized that education is the key to success. This point was emphasized several times in the discussion. The government should emphasize the importance of health education. Using emphasize shows that you can focus on key ideas clearly and effectively, a useful skill in both IELTS tasks. Let's continue with number 7. What does the word impact mean? A. A small change. B. A strong effect or influence. C. A written rule. D. A type of plan. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is B, a strong effect or influence. Impact means a powerful effect that something has on a situation, a person, or the environment. It can be positive or negative. Here's an example. The new law had a big impact on small businesses. This means the law strongly affected how small businesses operate. In IELTS, impact is useful when you want to talk about results, consequences, or changes. Here are some useful phrases with impact. The internet has had a major impact on education. Climate change is having a serious impact on the planet. Her speech made a strong impact on the audience. Technology has a huge impact on how we communicate. Government policy can impact people's daily lives. Using impact helps you express the idea of influence clearly and is great for both formal writing and speaking. Let's continue with number 8. What does the word approach mean as a verb? A, to run away. B, to ignore. C, to come near or deal with something. D, to block something. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is C, to come near or deal with something. As a verb, approach means to move closer to someone or something, or to start dealing with a task, problem, or situation. Here's an example. We need to approach this problem carefully. This means we need to deal with it in a thoughtful way. In IELTS, especially in writing task 2, you can use approach when discussing methods, strategies, or ways of handling issues. Here are some useful phrases with approach. This topic can be approached from different angles. The government should approach this issue with caution. He approached the task with confidence. We need a new way to approach this situation. The best way to approach the IELTS exam is with daily practice. Using approach helps you sound more academic and strategic in your language, great for expressing problem-solving skills in your answers. Let's continue with number 9. What does the word sufficient mean? A, not enough. B, too much. C, missing completely. D, enough or adequate. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is C, enough or adequate. Sufficient means as much as is needed, not too little and not too much. It describes a quantity or amount that meets the requirement. Here's an example. We had sufficient time to complete the task. This means we had just the right amount of time to finish it. In IELTS writing, sufficient is useful when discussing resources, support, or time in an academic tone. Here are some useful phrases with sufficient. There is not sufficient evidence to support the claim. The workers received sufficient training before starting. We need sufficient resources to complete the project. The explanation was sufficient to understand the idea. Regular practice is sufficient to improve your IELTS score. Using sufficient shows your ability to describe quantity and make balanced arguments, a valuable skill in IELTS tasks. Let's continue with number 10. What does the word contrast mean as a noun? A big celebration. B, a strong difference between things. C, a repeated pattern. D, a type of summary. You have 5 seconds to think. The correct answer is B, a strong difference between things. As a noun, contrast means a clear or noticeable difference between two or more things. It's often used when comparing ideas, people, or situations. Here's an example. There is a clear contrast between rural life and city life. This means the two lifestyles are very different from each other. In IELTS writing task 2, contrast is helpful when you are comparing two sides of an argument or discussing different trends in task 1. Here are some useful phrases with contrast. There is a strong contrast between rich and poor countries. In contrast to the past, people now rely heavily on technology. The chart shows a contrast in spending habits by age group. These results stand in contrast to earlier findings. The writer highlights the contrast between tradition and modernity. Using contrast in your IELTS writing or speaking shows that you can compare ideas clearly and thoughtfully, a key skill for a high band score. Great job! You've completed all 10 questions. How many did you get right? Let me know your score in the comments. I'd love to hear how you did. If you want to keep improving your IELTS vocabulary, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got more quick quizzes, practice lessons, and tips coming every week. Thanks for watching and keep learning, one word at a time. See you in the next video.